Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Marie Holiday, and today is Thursday, October the 8th, 2020. And before we get started, I just want to remind my viewers and my subscribers and potential subscribers to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button if you have not. And with that being said, let's get down to the next segment. I want to talk about my 7 quick financial tips to gain financial freedom. And I use all of these 7 tips. 7 quick financial tips that I have used for the past several years to gain financial freedom. And number one, the main thing that I've done over the years is I will increase my income and decrease my living expenses. And with the extra money that I recoup by doing that, I will immediately invest it. You know, I will throw extra into my 401. I got a couple of 401 accounts going. I may throw extra on accelerating my mortgage, because your home is an asset. And the more you put money on the principal, you eliminate that debt. You know, that home is an asset. So that's one thing I've done in terms of gaining financial freedom. Or you can increase your expense. The income can stay the same, but increase your expenses. Because a lot of people think you always got to increase your income. But a lot of times, if you really take a look at your expenses and see what you can eliminate, and then you're still recouping money without, basically, you're giving yourself a raise. So increase income, decrease your living expense, or if your income is a certain amount, and still decrease your expenses, and then recoup that money to invest into 401, to invest into accelerate your mortgage, to invest into put money to your emergency savings account. So that's tip number 2. Once you recoup the money, then you're going to reinvest that money into 401s, retirement, IRA accounts, or put money into your emergency savings account. And also, you can put money into you accelerate your mortgage, which is an asset. Number 3, in terms of a tip to gain financial freedom, is do not create new debt. Don't go out and create new debt. Don't go out and buy this big ticket item that you know you don't need. Don't go out and get a new car that you don't need. Don't go out and get a bigger house that you don't need. Don't go out and do a huge spending splurge to the mall with clothes and jewelry and shoes that you don't need. So major tip number 3 is do not create new debt if you're trying to gain financial freedom. And number 4, another major financial tip to gain financial freedom is to know where your money is going. Know where every penny is going, every nickel is going, every dollar is going. Know where your money is going. Meaning, track your money. You know what's coming in, and you need to know what's going out in order to gain financial freedom. And when you do that, I'm here to tell you, you will begin to respect that money. So know where your money's going, know what's coming in, and know what's coming out. Tip number 5, and I'm serious about this. Tip number 5 is get rid of the credit cards. That is a debt. If you know how to master your money and manage your money, you do not need credit cards. Because if you view some of my prior videos where I talk about my financial destruction, credit cards was one of my big problems. Get rid of credit cards. I'm here to tell you, because credit cards is another debt. Credit cards is another bill. If you want financial freedom, get rid of them credit cards. I'm here to tell you. If you got credit cards, come up with a game plan to pay them credit cards off and remove them from your life. I actually did a YouTube video upload on how I do not use credit cards. I got them out of my life, get rid of them. If you want financial freedom, follow the recommendation of tip number 5, get rid of them credit cards. Tip number 6 is educate yourself about money. Read books on about other people experience of financial disruption and gain insight, personal insight on things they have done to rise from their financial disruption. Educate yourself, self-educate yourself about money and finances by reading books or listening to YouTube channels, doing what everything you need to do to educate yourself. For example, I'm reading a book right now, The Iceberg Effect. Even though one of the concepts about this book, the gentleman taught Russell Brunson, he talks about affiliate marketing, but before he even gets into talking about affiliate marketing, the first several chapters in this book, he's talking about his financial disruption and how he arose from that financial disruption. He goes in depth and breadth, sharing with the reader on what his financial disruption looked like, how his life was out of control financially, and how he rose from that. So by me reading that about him, that's helped me educate myself on some tips and strategies he used. I can also learn from his experience and develop more tips and strategies for me to maintain my financial health. So educate yourself about money, read books, listen to people YouTube channels who share their experience on how they arose financial disruption. So educate yourself. And tip number 7, just like I talked about, get rid of them credit cards. Tip number 7 that helped me develop financial freedom is I do everything in cash. I don't deal with credit cards. I will not touch credit cards, because if you think about it, if you're doing everything in cash, whatever you're purchasing or whatever you are doing to purchase something, you're walking away with $0 bill. And when I say do everything in cash, I also mean for that to also be interchangeable with, or either my debit card. What I mean by that is when I swipe that debit card, it's the money coming directly out of my checking account, and I'm walking away with a $0 bill. So do everything in cash or interchangeable with your debit card, because then you ain't creating no new bills along the way. And if you do everything in cash or you use your debit card, then that's gonna set the stage for you to pay attention to what money is going in, what money goes out, staying abreast of your finances, staying abreast with balancing your checking account and all of that. So these are 7 tips that I have used to rise above my situation. I continuously use these tips. This is what works for me. I'm here to tell you. So with that being said, I hope the audience got something out of it. Simplify and have a great evening.